Stole my seat, eh? Well, now we are gonna get real cozy. 43 meters. Flew southwest recently and spaced on checking in early, so I ended up way in the back of the plane. It was only an hour flight, so I wasn't too distraught about it. I had a single backpack as carry-on, so after making my way to the last few rows on a packed flight, with a line boarding behind me, I spied an aisle seat and told the fellow at the window I'd be joining him, leaving the middle seat open for the moment. Again, it was to be a full flight, so every seat would be taken. I went to stow my bag in the overhead and discovered it was full, so I turned slightly to my left to reach up to the compartment in the next row behind me. Having stowed my bag, I turned back to take my seat, only to discover the guy who had been in line behind me, who absolutely saw me and heard me tell the guy already seated I would be sitting there, had decided to just help himself to my seat. I immediately chimed in with, "Hey, I was about to sit there." To which he replied with a shrug and a really condescending smirk, then offered, "Oh well, there are still a few seats behind you." I looked behind me and contemplated if this was a hill worth dying on. Turns out it was. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Nope. We're best friends now," and squeezed myself into the middle seat. I am 6 feet 1 inch 230 pounds. He was at least that, as was the window seat guy. This just became a very cramped situation. As if the universe was already on my side, I discovered immediately that he was sitting on half my seatbelt. I very forcefully pulled it from under him and followed it with the same shrug and smirk he had earlier, with a shy, "Sorry." Once we took off, I found it very hot in there and needed to remove my zip-up hoodie. Of course, this required standing up and lots of arms flailing backwards to remove it. Smirk, "Sorry." Finally, refreshments made their way over. Being in the middle, I politely passed window seat guy his drink. Then, "OMG, so sorry." Smirk, I clumsily mishandled mine and splashed the poor fellow. Snacks came shortly after. Who knew trail mix would travel like a confetti blaster if you opened the bag with too much force? Smirk, "So very sorry, TLDR. Take my seat and suffer my company for the whole flight." Guy suggests I find a different seat after taking the one I wanted, so I did. Right next to him. Guy was lucky. You didn't throw up in his lap, laughing face. Am I scoozy? Am I scoozy? I just feel bad for poor window seat guy. Hope you gave him as much room as you could and squeezed toward the aisle side. I travel with a guy who likes to drink and spills his drinks constantly. He took the window and I took the aisle in a frontish row. On a pretty empty flight to Vegas, and a guy decided he wanted to sit between us. I told him he might have a better flight if he took a window or aisle seat further back on the plane. He said he really likes sitting in the front of the plane. Half an hour in and my buddy has already spilled 2 drinks on him and is loudly drunk, talking over him to me and some of our other friends on the flight. Guy gets up to go pee and never comes back. Petty revenge. If was just you and him, this would be awesome. But I'm sure the innocent guy by the window suffered more than him. Never heard of a flight without assigned seating before. Sounds like planes, trains and automobiles in real life. Tears of joy. I've never flown Southwest, but every plane I've ever flown in has had assigned seats. Is this not a Southwest policy? Oh man, flashback to a recent flight to LA where a young gal got on the flight from standby, threw herself in the window seat in front of me and browbeat the young black guy whose seat it actually was into letting her have it because she had anxiety and ADHD and claustrophobia and had to take Zoloft. He did charge her $40 for it. Still nicer than I would have been. She had several drinks on the way. Then when we landed got on the phone to demand a wheelchair for herself and whimpered the entire time when she had to wait to get off with everyone else because they didn't care about her anxiety, ADHD and claustrophobia. She had no problem navigating off the plane with her heavy bag because her legs worked fine. And sure enough, the wheelchair attendant was waiting for her with a sign with her full unusual name on it. So now I have her name, address and criminal record. Several counts of possession of a controlled substance. Just wanted to give her a serious bitch slapping, but whatever. Tell him you find him cute the next time prior to sitting down. I would have taken my shoes off and started clipping my toenails. I think I would have made several trips to the restroom as well. Man, I shouldn't have eaten all those burritos before this flight. Smirk. Sorry. Quote. Suffer my company. I love this one. I don't fly much. They do drinks and snacks on a 1-hour flight? You dick. Haha. I'm 6'6" and 260. Was in the aisle seat with another 6'3" big guy in the window seat. Doors are about to lock and we both sigh with relief before one last couple squeaks through. A 5 feet tall petite lady and her absolute mountain of a man who is ducking to walk down the aisle. With a build to match. Thankfully his tiny GF sat between us and he ended up squishing himself into another middle seat. Further back. Maybe cause I've only flown maybe a 1/2 dozen times in my life and maybe because I've never flown Southwest. But I was under an impression that everyone is assigned or picks their own seat in advance. Anytime I have flew, it has the seat number right on the ticket, or I've been able to pick my own seat if I paid more. Apologize if it's a stupid question, but how do you pick your own seat in this situation? Is it first come first serve? From the movie Planes, Trains and Automobiles.
Aisle.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.